It is so important that you express yourself. Just like I'm doing and just like I always do. I'm very, very expressive. I'm very extroverted. I'm very intonative. So I use a lot of intonation. I use a lot of facial expressions. So that's just me generally. But when we speak English, we don't just speak with a complete poker face, unless you're in a very serious situation and you don't want people to know what you're thinking. But when we speak English, we don't just speak it, we sing the language. So you've got to really show everything on your face. So like I said in the last video, talking about exactly how you feel, it is so important to use intonation by bringing your voice up and down. That's the first thing you've got to do. Second thing is expressing with your hands. If you don't do that in your language, it doesn't matter. Try doing it in English. We do it a lot, and it also depends on where people come from. See, I use it a lot, but that's just me, usually. So intonation is very important. This one of the voice is the most important thing because lots of people speak like this. They have a flat voice, so they don't really have any expression to their voice. You don't really have intonation. Sometimes it's hard to know if they're happy or sad or what they're really feeling because they speak like this. And it's hard for me to speak like that because I really have to force it because that's just not me. But in some languages, they do that. I don't know if it's like that in the actual language itself, but when people from certain countries speak English, they speak very flat-voiced, monotone kind of thing. And then it's hard to kind of understand what they're saying because it's hard to understand what they're feeling. And that's kind of important because you have to use your face, just like I'm doing. But also, voice, flip the voice up and down when you can. So when you're not sure about something, instead of just saying, I'm not sure, you could say, I'm not sure. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Even flipping your voice up in one word, I'm not sure. And you could say as well, things like, how was the movie? If you speak very flat voiced, you could say, it was good. I liked it a lot. Now, me saying that, no one would believe me. They'd say, are you telling the truth? Because how would I convince someone that I liked something by being very flat-voiced, very, very monotone? The food's delicious. I really love it. It's the best food of my life. So, no, we don't do it that way. You've got to really show it in your voice. So you've got to really express. So in Korea, when people like something, they use the words ooh and ah a lot. They go, ooh, this is really good. That's what we do in English too. Ooh, this is delicious. Compare that to, ah, this is delicious. Which one sounds more believable? The first one or the second one? I think it's the first one. So I think from now on, flipping your voice up and down really helps. When something's good, the voice tends to go up. Oh my God, that's amazing. And it's also more for when you're really, really excited. You say, that's amazing, because you're excited for the person. If you just want to make a statement, you say, oh, that's amazing. You know, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a statement, like, that's amazing. Like, I'm happy for you. But if you want to make it more exciting, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. You know, especially because when we're really excited, we tend to get excited. The voice becomes excited. But when you're kind of having a normal, just, let's say you're having a conversation, sitting down for coffee, and your friend says, oh, I'm going on holiday next week. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Like, sometimes people think it sounds more sincere when it's not so excitable. I don't know why, but especially when it's a kind of a private one-to-one conversation. But I don't really care about that. If I'm excited for someone, I'll show it in my very high-pitched voice. That's amazing. It's very important to work on those things. So if it's not something that you do, you're going to have to force it, because it's not just going to happen by itself. You have to make this happen. See the way I say that? You have to make this happen. So my voice is not being flat. You have to make this happen. It's really important. You wouldn't believe me if I spoke like that. So you really do have to make this happen. So from now, when you speak English, force the intonation, because it needs to be put out there. It needs to be used. It's so important because you really get your voice and your idea across and the people listen to you. Because if it's very flat and you kind of speak in the same tone, it's very, very cultural, I understand, and you might not do things in your language where we use a lot of intonation, but we do that in English. So it's time to start doing that, because it's honestly, there's no exact rule to what you want to say or how you want to sound. If you are angry, you could even use that excited voice. So let's just say we have a couple who are parents and their child comes home really late and they're really angry, and they come into the house and they say, "You're home really late. Where were you?" Right? Let's say that's really, really serious. But you could also, when they come in, they could go, "You're home really late. Where were you?" You know, like that. Especially if you're almost panicking because the person might be late for something else. You know, if you're waiting, you're just like, where is he? We have to go. Our train is leaving soon. And then he finally arrives. You go, "There you are. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you." You know, so it also depends on your mood, how you're feeling, you know, what impact that's going to have on the person. Because if you arrive really late and you might miss the train, the person says, "Where have you been? You're really late. We might miss the train." You know, it doesn't have the impact. It would have the impact at nighttime at like, let's say parents have their child come home at 11:30 and they go, "You're home really late. You need to sit down and explain where you..." Parents have their child come home at 11:30 and they go, "You're home really late. You need to sit down and explain where you were." So there's intonation there, but it's more serious and lower. But, "Where have you been? We've got to go, waiting for you." You know, like that. So that's important. So think about those things when you're speaking. And the thing as well is, just let your mood have the effect on your voice, because the mood you're feeling will really help, because that's where you'll be able to project exactly what you're trying to say. When you're explaining something, like I'm doing now, your tone of voice kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When you're finishing a sentence, when you're kind of generally finished, you just go down. When you're generally finished, you don't really go up. But some people in some countries do. The only problem with the going up part is because it makes it sound like you're almost not sure. And it also makes it sound like you're kind of asking a question. Like you want the person to respond. It's like, "Are you going to respond?" So when someone says, "What did you do for the weekend?" "Oh, I didn't really do anything." And that's it. It's like, okay. Because it sounds like they're waiting for you to respond. So it's almost a way of saying to a person, "Respond, please." So yeah, that's what I would say. So just use intonation, flip the voice up and down. If it's not something that you do now, force it. You've got to force it, because it's not just going to happen overnight. It's not just going to happen magically. It's not just going to happen to you. You have to make it happen for you. See? Projecting the voice, using intonation, facial expressions, very, very important. Really important in English. We raise our forehead a lot. Eyebrows go up a lot, so the forehead shows. We move our mouths a lot to show that we like or don't like something. We move our faces a lot. We move our head back. We move our head forward. So if you don't like something, you wouldn't just go, "I don't like that." You'd go like that. And when you're showing interest in something, you can go, "Oh, really?" Whereas in some countries, they would just go, "Oh, really? That's interesting." So make sure that you move your face, use your face muscles. And if something's like really bad, I'm very expressive. So when I really don't like something, especially if I'm eating it, I just go like that. So, but I'll express that with words as well. I'd be like, "I don't like that at all. Oh, that's horrible." But in some cultures, they don't do that. But in English, we do. So it's a good idea for you to start using that. So go to the mirror and pretend you like things, pretend you're interested, and just look at yourself in the mirror with how you do it. You could say, "Oh, wow, that's amazing." Compare that to, "Oh, wow, that's really nice. I'm so happy for you." So that's what you have to do. See? Eyebrows are going up. So that's it for intonation and expressing yourself. Let's have a look and see what you're going to be doing next.